I'm a firm believer in positivity, and I don't like trashing queer things, but Eating Out 4 Drama Camp is so mediocre, so blah, that it is very hard to say something interesting about this movie. But me and my friend Robert will try.
I'm expecting extra camp.
Eating Out 4 Llama Stamp is produced by Aristocle Entertainment and directed by Q. Allen Braca. My nemesis. I don't know, it just seems like Q. Allen Braca is a fucking crazy person. For those of you who don't know, Eating Out is a series of queer sex comedy films that are best watched with friends, as long as your friends are sex positive and like garbage. So we're going to start, as we always do, with an intro of the characters. There's Casey, our wide-eyed protagonist. Zach, his boyfriend, who has fallen out of love and is too scared to say it. Benji, a gay guy pretending to be straight. Lily, the voice of reason. Jason, the young director, scared to confess his feelings to Lily. Penny, a horny klutz and the butt of many jokes. Dick Dickey, the camp director who enforces a strict abstinence policy. We'll also get some cameos later that I'm not going to spoil. So Robert, any expectations for this movie before we begin Eating Out 4 Drama Camp?
My expectations are actually fairly high for this one because of the previous.
Great. Yeah, I think I'm ready to just get into it.
Oh.
I actually recognize that production company now whenever I see a Ritzicle.
Have you played around with
Oh my god.
Zach and Casey are on the rocks. This is similar to the beginning of Eating Out 2, where a relationship is continued from the previous film, only now things have gotten tougher, harder, and yet at the same time, softer, more flaccid. Zach and Casey like to shoot movies with their friend Jason, and all of them are getting ready to go to adult drama camp. Eating Out 4 isn't a Pen 15 or Wet Hot American Summer where adults are playing teenagers. These are just adults in their mid to late 20s going to summer camp. For acting. As they pack up the van, they meet Benji, and Zach is immediately smitten, gobsmacked, unclenched. Unfortunately, Benji picks up on the relationship between Zach and Casey and says that he's straight. Bum, bum, bum. They meet Dick Dickerson.
There will be no sexual misconduct on this campground. So anyone caught with his or her hoo-ha's out will be expelled. No refunds. I haven't had sex in 7.5 years, and it's only made me a better artist.
Camp activities begin, and we get a sight for sore eyes, Tiffany, my queen. And she's here to make a totally okay for the time joke about Betty White.
This last one Betty White showed me.
Oh no. Oh no.
I feel like out of sensitivity to Betty White, I can't include that. God rest her soul. And one more thing before I continue the plot. One of my favorite little storylines is Beau's crush on Casey.
I'm Beau. Whoa.
Beau.
What's your name?
Casey.
Wow, Casey,
Wow.
you're like the cutest redhead I've ever seen.
He's up front, and I don't think he's a redhead. Yeah, I think he's blonde.
Whatever it is, you're smoking.
Your assignment is to take a scene from Shakespeare and give it a modern twist. Maybe Othello as a talk
That
show
was
on the
such a
Oprah
cute
Network.
picture.
Casey, is this guy bothering you?
Who the hell are you?
I'm the guy you're messing with when you're messing with Casey.
It's okay.
Wow, he
He says it all. Jason starts to direct Taming of the Shrew, with Zach and Benji as the romantic leads who get the hots for each other. But because Benji is gay, pretending to be straight, Zach is getting the hots for him, thinking that nothing could happen, but Zach is kind of into that. And it's so boring. Lily is cast as well as a romantic lead because Jason has a crush on her. But Jason is very coy about it, and he's all, I like you, but just as an actor, I don't really like you, but I do kind of like you, and just, it's rough. So given everything you know about Eating Out 4, can you guess how the movie will end? I want you to just write down on a little piece of paper what you think is going to happen between each of these characters. Will Zach and Casey stay together? Will Lily and Jason get together? Will Zach and Benji get together? Will Dickie Dickerson have sex at some point and change his rule about the sex thing? Place your bets. cast your guesses. Do people say that? Cast your guesses? So I don't want to come across as too negative. I do like that there's a moral here. Like in the first one, it's don't lie about being gay. In the second one, don't lie about being straight. In the third one, don't lie about your identity online. And in Eating Out 4, Mama's Damn, it's don't lie about your feelings. I also appreciate the willingness to have flawed characters because flaws are just more interesting. But when the conflicts are half-baked, the characters feel immature and two-dimensional, which I think is what Robert and I pick up on. And to be totally honest,
No.
the movie is way more boring than the other one so far. I'm not sure what it is. So after that, we check in with this beautiful actor, my king.
Casey, pick an animal for Benji.
Cockroach.
Oh, my wife and I can't stand the sight of those pests. Benji, let's see your cock. Roach. Oh, bad cockroach. Bad. Feel it.
Okay, I'm enjoying this moment.
So now, because I want you to make up your own mind, I'm going to try to include most of this scene with Poison Oak. And just tell me if you think it's funny in the comments.
He's such a weird character in this whole thing. Why is she doing this? Oh no, is he gonna have an underwear fetish moment? He's gonna rub it all over his face. Ah, here we go. So predictable. You know, I like Scent of Man, but not to that extent. I've never seen that
really?
being a thing. Yeah, no.
I like that.
Huh?
I'm into that.
You're totally into that stuff?
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah, I'll smell underwear and socks for fun.
Nice.
What is happening to me?
The nurse said it's poison oak. It's everywhere.
What were you doing in Poison Oak? Apparently naked.
No, I haven't touched any nature.
That looks really painful.
It's like my whole body's a circumcision wound.
But we have to rehearse, okay? The competition.
Ooh, what a horrible description.
Rehearse it without me. Use Casey.
And now, for your viewing displeasure and lack of consideration, here are the cringiest lines from Eating Out 4, Lava Lamp.
Ugh, I look like Ricky Martin's asshole. You need a lot more blood for that. You're awesome, man.
Wow.
Not like I haven't corked my onion in here before.
Ew.
Because this thing is packed immigrant tights.
Keep it moving, ass pimples.
What the fuck is with that teacher?
It's got fucking problems.
Drama's more than learning words, it's more than mixing bees and birds. It's just taking deep until you strike desire.
Like, I've forgotten all of this movie.
You're not even done watching it, you've forgotten it.
Passionate reactions, put it on the scene. Drama queen, shaking up the Shakespeare in your velvet suit. Drama queen, playing to the camera.
Oh my god, Robert, I hate this. This is brutal.
Does that itch?
I feel like Lindsay Lohan's pussy.
Rise and shine, my little dicklets. Congratulations.
David, your reaction. Dicklets.
Oh, Romeo, Romeo. Why for won't thou I am me, Romeo? Deny thy text.
Oh, it's a modern take.
And as a palate cleanser, here are the 2 full frontal nude shots from Connor and Beau.
Oh, and there we go. First full frontal. Little diddle doodle. Little dingle dangle. Number two.
I want to say, dick shots in movies are weird. There's been a very strange Western tradition where we don't show erect penises in movies, even though we see boobs all the time, in sexual and non-sexual contexts. What's going on, boys? What are we so scared of? Email your thoughts to bitbuttbiz@gmail.com, and we'll read the best answers on a podcast. Soon enough, Casey has picked up on all the signals and is sure that Zach is no longer in love with him, so he resolves to break off their relationship.
So, last night, Zach, I think we should break up. What? Does that hurt your feelings? Of course it does. Really? I guess not.
Wow, that was quick and sudden, but logical.
Later, Zach goes to ask out Benji, and it turns out Benji is Jason in disguise. Just kidding, he's gay. Jason, however, keeps playing Will He, Won't He with Lily, and she's tired.
It's our last day here. Do you like me or what?
What?
You heard me, Jason.
Random.
I think we should get back to the scene.
If you want to ask me, I'll just do it. Stop making stupid excuses to keep running into me. Do you like me, or am I just crazy? Are you weirded out because I'm a transsexual?
Check one of the boxes on this piece of paper.
What's going on?
Look, I don't know, okay?
Then we have a very confusing scene where Zach and Benji end up together now that they are fully aware that they are into each other, and they have to kiss, but they're not into it. If you understand the motivation, please let me know. What? You like him?
Why are they doing this? And yeah, he likes him and he realizes it now, and I'm conflicted about their conflict.
For me, this just reads as convenient to make this instructional sex scene.
Pretend I'm not here. Zach, take off Benji's shirt.
Fully provided by David Portnoy.
Dick Dicky walks in on Zach and Benji and screams one of the better lines in the film, "What the sex is going on here?"
What the sex is going on in here?
Please feel free to clip that and play it whenever there's sex going on in your apartment or your house, and post that somewhere, tag me. That would be great. So Dick Dicky expels Zach and Benji, banning them from the acting showcase.
Shakespeare did not have cum shots.
So true. So true.
Yeah,
but it had a lot of innuendo. And then Casey realizes he had a hand in this.
Although that jerking motion is very unbelievable.
Yeah. Yeah, you'd give yourself a little bit of a
I'll
rough
show
burn
you
more
how
than
to
anything. Yeah. Yeah. You kids want to see jerkin'? I'll show you jerkin'. And he gets Connor's help to undermine Dickie by seducing Dickie into having sex and trying to break his no sex streak. When Connor and Dickie have sex, they play the sounds over the PA system, and it kind of reminds me of that joke about the sex offender. Dickie's exposed! Dick Dicky has a come for Jesus moment and decides he will allow sex at camp.
Your seat's back in the competition exactly as it was. I didn't even... No, you were right. Sex is such an important part of human interaction, and oh my god, blah, 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 who cares?
And he lets Zach and Benji back into the showcase. Did we see it coming? Check off your little list. The showcase continues as planned. Or does it? Lily gets on stage and starts to take charge during her scene and calls Jason out for his bullshit. And it's good. It's nice. Jason answers the call and finally confesses his feelings to Lily on the stage. The stage soon becomes a cascade of cummy catharsis as Zach and Benji hook up, Lily and Jason hook up, and Penny, you remember Penny, the horny girl? She also falls on stage in like a pile of semen. It's a whole thing. And it ends with a lovely line from Bo to Casey.
Do you want to use me for sex? Fuck yes.
Which is honestly as nice a note as we're going to be able to end on with Eating Out for Strata Tramp. Here's what Robert and I thought after we finished watching. Oh, mama. Well, we've done it, Robert.
Oh, David.
Is it? I think... I don't know.
We don't even need to discuss it. Our expression to say it all.
There's just something about... All right, I'm going to put a diagram up on screen, Robert. Let me see if I can draw it for you. So I'm putting a diagram on screen.
love that you're trying this.
Okay.
Okay.
So here we have great. Here
awful.
We have awful. With quality, Robert. With quality of any kind. I believe that very often there's actually not that much distance between stuff that is awful and stuff that is great. Like, you can have stuff that's like so bad it's good, and then it actually becomes an overall enjoyable experience. So it kind of goes in this loop. And you can have things that are like almost great, but like there's just something about them that just rubs you the wrong way. Maybe like the acting's really bad, or maybe like the whatever that
in this film
cinematography is really bad, that keep it from being great. So like I would describe. Yeah, okay. All right, they're going to have sex.
There was a final moment.
Whatever. I guess we'll get our live reaction to
Okay,
this.
I guess.
Let's just be upset and watch this.
I'm just going to hate on this so much. Oh, I could get those pants off faster than him. What?
This movie, Robert, is not even like close to this ballpark. It is just down here. Just like it is on the opposite end of this loop. And it's just boring. It's just like not that good, and it's not that bad, and so it just sits down here at the bottom. Do you like my scientific explanation of quality?
I'm trying to determine what this looks like right now, and it's kind of like a cranberry, or maybe or a cherry with one ball.
Yeah.
Convoluted. That was another word I'd use to describe this, because there was moments that were just like they were trying too hard to force something in. Like it almost felt like they had the formula that they've determined from the previous 3 films, and they're like, we're gonna do that now and throw on this random background of the drama camp. And I don't even feel that they utilize the drama camp aspect very well. And so there was just so many convoluted moments that not only confused me, but I honestly think like confused the actors in a way, because they look confused about what was going on.
Yeah, maybe it's because of the mixed messaging. So like we were saying, there's definitely some coded misogyny toward a lot of the women characters, but then there was also the trans inclusivity moral that they were trying to add at the same time. And it's like I don't know if you have trans inclusivity without feminism at the same time, so it comes across as really watered down and just kind of like dumb,
or kind of like an obligation, as opposed to like we're doing justice for this.
Yeah, it's like I don't know, it felt maybe a little tokenistic to have the trans woman there, because she kind of becomes the moral center of the movie. Like there are some other morals about like don't play games with people, like don't say that you're straight if you're not. Don't pretend that you're not attracted to somebody if you are, or like use them in your play kind of thing. It's like a way to try to get their attention, which is like an okay moral, but it feels like the Eating Out movies aren't about having good morals. The Eating Out movies are like supposed to explore just like really shitty morals and like really
and
shitty
if
people.
anything,
so it
they've
feels weird
explored
now.
that moral every movie, right? There's always some game that's being played, some like gay guys trying to get a straight guy, or a straight guy who's trying to get a straight woman, and they're using a game as the means to acquire the other, right? It's always about this like play of the sexes and orientations. So it's like we've done this 4 times, and I don't mind that as being a thematic quality. But it's just like do something better with it this time around, and it really didn't. Like legitimately, the only like semi-genuine acting moments came from our trans character, because they were literally sounded like they were speaking from experience, and so they had some very real moments. And then there was a couple of where they were rehearsing the Shakespearean plays. It was before they actually did it, where they were rehearsing it and trying to express actual care for each other in that. So there was like 2 of those. There's like 2 rehearsal moments that felt semi-legitimate. And the only other one beyond that was when he was directing the porn, because I actually felt like he was really into that and enjoying that. That actually felt legitimate. Everything else was just contrived, shitty. That Penny character, I did not understand. She didn't even feel like a foil or a like a means to end character. It was really just like a lackey. It There's like this random lackey where they're like, we need somebody to rub
to be the butt of jokes. Like,
yeah, to be the butt of jokes,
really
or just to make butt of jokes, or it's just like, okay, you are the person who's going to get the ivy and rub it all over, but really it's about the ha ha ha, he has ivy all over his body. And so it's just like she just enabled that.
Yeah, it's like, I can't remember if we've said this, but you know, there's like comedy from total absurdism, or there's comedy from things being relatable. And kind of like the kitsch quality loop, like this wasn't exactly relatable and it wasn't that absurd. So it just kind of isn't that funny, I guess. Yeah. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
Yeah, so far they hit the formula the best with the third movie, where it's that balance of there's like some sincere romance, but there's a lot of goofy side characters who like just add life to everything else. Because like you said, if the main characters are pretty wooden, like we don't really want to watch them very much. And so like just now when we watched that last sex scene, we're like, I mean, whatever, like we're not invested, and like they weren't that great of actors.
I don't want to see
so this. Why are we looking at these people?
Yeah, and it felt so forced. Like there's so many moments of being forced. Like the fact that they had to make everyone have sex in that final scene, but it wasn't the same caliber of like the guy who got off in that third scene because he was coming out to his like oppressive mother. So you had the ridiculous oppressive mother who was kind of fun, ridiculous character, but it was about him kind of coming into his own and literally, you know, ultimately coming on her. And like, and it's almost like they wanted that moment again, but they couldn't recreate it because and not only did they not recreate it, but to add salt to the wound, they're like, okay, well, it's not going to just be these two are forced into sex. These two are going to have sex. These two are going to have sex. The other two characters in the audience are going to have sex. Everyone's going to have sex, and it's going to be that much funnier. I'm like, no, you're actually making it worse.
Yeah. Let's workshop this, Robert. How would we make that last scene more cathartic? Because they were trying to make it cathartic, but it didn't feel that way.
Cathartic.
Okay, so if the catharsis is that they are all not playing games and they're trying to be honest in the way that they pursue romance, great, okay, but they're doing it on a stage in front of an audience full of people, and I think that undercuts the like sincerity of what that moment could have been. So I think there's a version of this where they're all hooking up backstage, maybe, and then there's like and then there's maybe a scene going on the stage, and you're just hearing everyone like fucking moaning and smashing in the back. Like you can't focus on anything else until, I don't know, maybe there's a reveal that they're all having sex, or maybe there's like a mic that they turn on in the back. Or there's a scene where like Dick Dickey goes to the back and he's like, oh, is this all you people wanted? Or whatever. And then just like, he's like, okay, well, get the fuck out of my theater. Go have sex elsewhere. We're having a fucking show. And then and then like the audience leaves or something. I don't know. There's like some way where it's more sincere. It does, like you're saying, feel really contrived that they just all fall onto the stage and they have sex, and it's like, okay.
Yeah, exactly. No, I actually much prefer that. If it's almost like each one's like, one was in the like the cloak room, one was in the makeup room, one was in like, you know, the technical little side electrical closet, and they each kind of had their moment of catharsis and coming together and realizing who they were and being honest. And then they end up hooking up and then maybe like breaking a wall or knocking something off while on stage a legitimate scene was attempting to happen. And they end up ruining it through sort of their like legitimate things. But instead they were just like, let's force the shitty acting with the catharsis with the funny all into one spot in one moment. Like there's even moments that you could clearly tell they're like, okay, the ex has to be okay with him hooking up with him, but he's off stage, so it's just gonna be a nod. He's gonna be like, yeah, this is cool. You know, like they couldn't. They were just like, there's too much going on, and they try to cram it literally all into one stage, onto one screen. And it really did undercut it. And I would agree. I would have rather them just kind of come to their moments, maybe through the scene, without the sex and all that, and then they go off and have sex elsewhere, or go do it elsewhere. Another like thing that bothered me is like they use that. Speaking of using characters, kind of like the Penny character, they use that random tall, attractive man to just run around and have sex with everybody. And he even had sex with like the teacher, who it's like, I don't understand why he would make that happen and how that justified suddenly everyone else can now have sex in their scenes. Like it just didn't. Ugh.
Yeah. The teacher, Dick Dickey, is a fucking creep. Like he really is a villain, and they definitely want him to feel like a villain through most of the thing.
And I honestly, it wasn't even until the moment of him kind of realizing he was okay with sex. I didn't realize anti-sex was such a big thing for him. I thought it was just like a basic rule of like any professional camp, students shouldn't be hooking up.
Oh,
but
yeah, no,
I didn't
it was a
realize that the
character
whole
detail,
thing
for
was because he had not had sex for 7 years and he really hated sex and he was really like repressed. Like that didn't even come through for me.
Oh,
and they
yeah.
had to like force it, or at least for me, because I didn't pick it up. Maybe I'm daft. I don't know.
Yeah, I think you may have missed it. They did explain it pretty clearly as part of his character, but I think that's like why it's such a weird turnaround, because like he also, you know, he makes the students do kissing exercises in a really forceful way. And, you know, they're trying to make it seem like, yeah, he's repressed. So he acts out all these urges with these students, which is problematic to start with. But then at the very end, he just does the exact same thing, but even in a more extreme way, where he's like, yeah, now I'm more sexually open, so I want these kids to actually have sex in front of me. It's
and it becomes
that's like worse.
Yeah, he's like a new form of creepy, because before he's like using them like in this repressed way where he's like angry about it, and now he's like, I'm liberated and I'm using them, you know? Just like,
so he's just like, I'm a villain, but I'm more open about it now.
Yeah. So there's no change in your character. You're just a fucking creep overall.
Yeah. So there's that. So it just, I don't know. It just seems like Q Alan Braca is a fucking crazy person who probably doesn't get what made the second and third movies more funny than the first one. He just kind of makes them really weird. It's just really, really weird and boring.
He really did.
All things considered, my favorite character is Lily, because she has some of the most genuine lines where she says things like, if boys play games because they don't want to get hurt, why does that make it okay for them to hurt other people? Like, that's a really good line. Yeah, so Robert, final recommendation. Yes or no, would you recommend Eating Out 4 Drama Camp?
No, I would not, David.
I would not either. How many of the Eating Out films have you seen? Which one is your favorite? Are you looking forward to the 5th review? Definitely let me know in the comments. This is a small channel, so I see everything, and I will respond. Also, feel free to leave a thumbs up if you're feeling particularly bisexual. If you enjoyed this review, please share it with a friend. And if you like Robert's and my vibe, we have a podcast called Tissues of the Day, which has plenty more dick jokes and maybe insights if you're into this sort of thing. And that's on this channel and wherever you get podcasts. Thanks for watching.